reduce the cost of poor quality. So when I say there is cost of poor quality, we need to understand what is it. We also need to understand what is cost of good quality. Can somebody here differentiate between cost of poor quality and the cost of good quality? When I say cost of poor quality, we talked about, right? Defects and waste that constitutes poor quality. Then what is cost of good quality?
It will improve our brand image, sir.
It will improve our brand image. For example, all of you are now spending on your white belt training program. Am I right? Spending is not only money. You have invested your time also. All right. You attended yesterday class and you are attending today's class. So that means always there is a cost associated. And what do you think? Attending the training, is it a cost of poor quality or a cost of good quality for you?
Cost of good quality.
It's a cost of good quality. Why do you consider it as a cost of good quality? Because whatever you are investing today, that is going to definitely help you prevent a failure from happening, isn't it? Tomorrow, when you actually do a project, you practice Lean or Six Sigma, and this learning will definitely, will help you prevent failures. So your product should not fail. Your product should not fail at this, and it should not fail. And then, it should meet all your customer requirement. For that, you do lot of prevention activities in your company. Hope all of you agree with me. You do lot of prevention activity. For example, you plan the production, you design your product, you train your people, you do some maintenance of the equipment. Lot of things you are doing. All of them, one way or the other way, helping you to prevent the failures. Any activity you do to prevent a failure from happening, that is called prevention activity. And the cost associated is called cost of prevention. It's called cost of prevention. And one more thing, I have done everything. For example, I have a maintenance plan, I have a production plan, I have a design plan, everything, my plan is perfect. I have a training plan. Do you think once you create a plan, everything will go as per the plan? Or will there be any deviation? There will be some deviation. Deviations are possible. So some monitoring is required. For example, I am asking you to be on video. Why? I wanted to monitor. I wanted to see to that you pay attention, full attention here, isn't it? So some amount of appraisal is required. Some amount of appraisal is required even in your company, whether the production plan is happening exactly as it is or not, or are there any deviation? So one more kind of activity all of you will be doing is some appraisal, quality checking, calibration, isn't it? And some audits. For example, the 5S audit you will be conducting, and all of them are appraisal. Both put together is called cost of good quality. The cost associated with all the prevention activity and the cost associated with all the appraisal activity put together is called cost of good quality. And this is the graph you can see here. And what do you observe from the graph? The graph is continuously going up. That means when you want more quality, then you have to do more of prevention and more of appraisal. When you do more prevention and more appraisal, what will happen to the quality cost? Quality cost will increase. You have to invest more money to achieve good quality. Why you are investing more money? Because you need to do more prevention, you need to do more appraisal. Got it? Why the graph is going up continuously? As the quality level increases, cost of good quality increases. Going to the other side, cost of poor quality, nothing but cost of failure. And tell me, when your product's quality levels are low, what will be the failures? Failures will be more or less?
More.
More. When failures are more, the cost associated with the failure will also be more. You see here failure cost. When the quality levels are very low, failure cost is high. I keep on improving my quality. What will happen? The failures will gradually fall down. And that's why you are seeing this graph continuously going down. Now you understood both the graph. Cost of good quality continuously going up. Cost of poor quality continuously coming down with respect to the level of quality. Now I want to combine both good quality and the poor quality. When I combine, the graph will be like this. This is called a total quality cost. Initially, it is coming down, and then it comes to the minimum and takes a turn and again goes up. What does it mean? Up to certain level, if you keep on improving the quality, the total quality cost comes down. So it's good you come up to this. But beyond this point is called, quality level for minimum cost. This is the quality level for minimum cost. If you improve the quality beyond this point, what will happen? Your quality will improve, but your profit will go down. All of you get this point? You can keep on improving. See, up to this point, you keep on improving the quality, the cost associated is coming down. When the cost associated is coming down, your profit will improve. So it is good to do all these things. But beyond certain point, when you improve the quality further, what will happen? Improving the quality happens at the expense of the profit. Because whatever the prevention and appraisal you are doing, the money you are spending will get you only a meager amount in reducing the failure, because the failure is already reduced drastically. So what we need to understand here is, let me plot the revenue graph. This is your revenue graph. This is the revenue graph, and this is your cost, the quality cost graph. And now you compare the revenue graph and the quality graph. At particular point, you see that the gap between the graph is maximum. Am I right? At a particular point, the gap is maximum. So that point is called acceptable quality level. That point is called acceptable quality level. Why? At that point, I have the optimum quality and my profit is also maximum. So what you need to look at is, you need to see to that any product or service you are offering, you bring up the quality up to the AQL, and at the same time at the AQL, if your AQL is better than your competitors, then you will very soon you will become a market leader. Clear? So going beyond acceptable quality level is not advisable, provided you don't have a strategy for it. Strategy means your quality level is already around the AQL, but you still wanted to improve further. If you improve further, what will happen? Your customer will get delighted. Delighting the customer is good, but you need to understand, you are doing it at the expense of your profit. So is it really required? If it is required, you go for it. When it is really required? When your quality level is inferior compared to your competitor, then you have to do that. If you are already above your competitor in terms of the AQL, then you no need to go beyond AQL. But any specific strategy, for example, I want to improve my market share, or I wanted to really delight my customer, I have a specific strategy, then you go for it. Hope all of you understand the difference between the cost of poor quality and the cost of good quality. All right.